The sky above Velra 9 was deep violet, painted with streaks of red and blue as the twin suns began to set behind thick pine trees. Milo crouched on the soft, mossy ground, his scanner humming quietly in his hands. He was alone on this moon, far from Earth, sent to explore and report anything unusual. The forest around him was dense but strangely silent. No birds sang, no animals stirred. It was as if the entire place was holding its breath. Milo adjusted his helmet and looked at the scanner screen. A faint signal had appeared. Something metallic, buried beneath layers of moss and dirt. His curiosity sparked. Slowly, he pushed aside branches and soft earth with his gloved hands. After a few minutes, he uncovered the edge of a strange metal hull. It was not like anything he had seen before. The metal was smooth and curved, with glowing lines that pulsed gently. This was definitely not a human ship. His heart quickened. Could it be alien technology? The thought sent a thrill through him. He called for backup on his communicator, but there was no response. The remote location and interference from the thick forest meant he was truly alone. Milo decided to investigate further. He found a small entrance and carefully pried it open. The door slid quietly, revealing a dim interior. The air inside smelled strange, cool, with a faint metallic scent. He stepped inside, shining his flashlight. The room was empty, except for a figure slumped against the wall. Milo's breath caught. It was an alien, a woman, or something close to human, but with smooth silver skin that shimmered softly. Her eyes were closed, and a faint pulse told Milo she was alive, but weak. He carefully knelt beside her and checked her pulse. It was faint but steady. "Hello? Can you hear me?" he said softly, trying not to scare her. The alien's eyes fluttered open. They were a deep, shining blue. She looked at him with confusion and fear. Milo smiled gently. "I'm Milo, from Earth. I'm here to help." She said nothing but gave a slight nod. Milo searched the ship for medical supplies. Luckily, he found a small first aid kit and some nutrient packs. He cleaned a wound on her arm, a deep scratch, still bleeding lightly, and wrapped it with a bandage. "Do you know where you are?" Milo asked. The alien woman shook her head. "I'll call for help," he said, but he knew it might take hours, or days before anyone could reach him. He decided to stay with her until help arrived. The alien's breathing grew steadier as the first aid worked its magic. As night fell on Velra 9, the forest seemed to come alive with tiny, glowing insects. Milo set up a small camp near the shipwreck. He kept an eye on the alien woman, who slowly recovered strength. After several hours, she finally spoke, her voice soft but clear. "My name is Nirai," she said. "I am a princess." Milo blinked in surprise. "A princess? From where?" Nirai's eyes darkened with pain. "From the Zalari Empire. I was attacked. My ship was destroyed. I do not know if my family is safe." Milo nodded, understanding the weight of her words. "Don't worry," he said firmly. "I will help you." Nirai looked at him with something new, hope. She had never expected a human to care so much. The night deepened, and Milo wondered what challenges lay ahead. He had no idea that saving Nirai would change everything, not just for him, but for all of humanity. Morning came slowly over the quiet forest of Velra 9. Pale sunlight filtered through the tall trees, casting long shadows on the soft moss below. Milo sat near the wrecked ship, keeping watch over Nirai, the silver-skinned alien princess who had survived the crash. She was still weak but awake now, resting on a makeshift bed of leaves and blankets Milo had gathered. Her blue eyes stared quietly at the trees, lost in thought. Milo wanted to speak, but was unsure what to say. The silence was peaceful, yet full of tension. Finally, he broke it. "Nirai," he said softly. Can you tell me what happened? Who? Attacked your ship? Nirai turned her head slowly. I do not know the full truth, she said, her voice quiet. But someone inside the Zalari Empire betrayed me. My own family. My own people. Milo frowned. Why? What did they want? Nirai shook her head. Power. Control. My father, the High Sovereign, rules the Empire. Some want to take his place by removing me. Milo thought about how humans also had fights for power, but this felt much bigger. Is it safe here? For now, Nirai said. But if they find me, they will try to finish what they started. Milo looked around the forest. The peaceful place suddenly seemed dangerous. We should move, he said. I can take you to a place where we can send a signal for help. Nirai nodded, gathering her strength. Milo helped her to stand. She was taller than he expected, but still thin and fragile. They began walking through the forest, Milo leading the way. The thick trees blocked much of the sunlight, and strange sounds echoed from deep within the woods. Sometimes Nirai would stop and listen, as if sensing something invisible. After walking for about an hour, Milo noticed she was limping. He asked, Are you hurt? My leg, she admitted. The crash damaged it more than I thought. Milo looked around and found some long vines hanging from a tree. Carefully, he twisted them to make a sling and tied her leg gently. You're lucky I know a little about first aid, Milo joked. Nirai gave a small smile. Your people are stronger than I believed. Milo shrugged. We've had to be. As they continued, Milo tried to learn more about Nirai's people. What is the Zalari Empire like? He asked. Nirai looked up at the sky. Large and powerful, many worlds, many species, but also full of secrets and lies. She paused, then added quietly, They told me humans were weak and unworthy, that you would be easy to conquer or ignore. Milo felt a surge of pride. They don't know us. Nirai's eyes met his. No, they do not. Suddenly, a rustling noise came from the bushes. Both froze. A small creature, about the size of a dog but covered in glowing fur, emerged and sniffed the air. It looked at them with curious eyes, then scampered away. Milo laughed softly. Looks like we're not alone here. Nirai relaxed a little. The creatures here are not dangerous, but there are others, machines that hunt. Machines? Milo's heart quickened. Yes. Guardians of the forest, controlled by my enemies to keep me from escaping. Milo's mind raced. He was not a soldier or warrior, just a scout. But protecting Nirai was important now. We have to be careful, he said. They walked in silence for a while. Milo noticed how different Nirai was, not just in appearance, but in how she moved and spoke. She was proud but kind, strong but gentle. At last, they reached a rocky hill with a small metal tower. The tower held a communications beacon, old but still working. Milo began setting up the beacon, using parts from his own equipment and the alien ship's remains. Nirai watched closely, fascinated. Your technology is different, she said. But your mind, it is clever. Milo smiled. Thanks. We learn quickly when we have to. As he worked, Nirai sat beside him and asked, Why did you help me? Humans do not often risk their lives for strangers. Milo paused. Maybe because I believe everyone deserves a chance, and because I think the galaxy needs more friends, not enemies. Nirai looked at him thoughtfully. You are not like others I have met. When the beacon was ready, Milo activated it. A soft glow spread from the tower, sending a signal out into space. We wait now, Milo said. Help will come. Nirai nodded, but her eyes were distant. If it does. That night, Milo built a fire. They shared some food, nutrient packs for him and for Nirai, strange glowing crystals that nourished her. Under the stars, Nirai spoke again. "My empire is in danger," she said. "If I survive, I want to change it. To stop the war. To make peace." Milo looked at the stars. "Maybe you and Earth can do that together." Nirai smiled faintly. "I hope so." As the fire flickered, Milo felt a new purpose growing inside him. This was not just a mission anymore. It was a chance to show the galaxy what humans could do, to save a princess, to build a future. The forest around Vel-Ranine had grown darker and colder by the time Milo and Nirai left the safety of the rocky hill. Their path now led toward the dreaded Foglands, a vast, mist-covered stretch of swampy land known to be dangerous. Locals said strange creatures lurked there, and few who entered ever returned. Milo tightened his pack and glanced at Nirai. She was walking steadily, but the limp in her leg was more noticeable now. He knew they couldn't rest much longer. "We have to cross the Foglands quickly," Milo said quietly. "The longer we stay, the more risk we take." Nirai nodded. "I have heard of the Foglands. This will be a test." As they stepped into the thick mist, the world around them changed. Trees disappeared into gray clouds, and the ground grew soft and wet beneath their feet. Milo's boots sank slightly into the mud. The air smelled damp and strange. Faint sounds echoed, unidentifiable noises that set Milo's nerves on edge. They moved slowly, scanning the area carefully. Suddenly, a sharp, metallic click sounded behind them. Milo spun around just in time to see a strange machine leap from the fog. A drone beast, its body covered in black armor and glowing red eyes. It moved quickly on four legs, its jaws opening to reveal sharp metal teeth. "Stay close!" Milo shouted. Nirai raised her arm, and a faint blue shield shimmered into place around her. "These machines are dangerous," she said. Milo pulled out a small device from his pack, a homemade EMP grenade, a weapon that sent out a burst of energy to disable electronics. He knew it was risky, but necessary. The drone beast charged. Milo threw the grenade. It exploded with a soft pulse of light. The machine collapsed, sparks flying from its joints. But there were more. From the fog, two more drone beasts appeared, moving with silent speed. Milo grabbed a thick branch and swung it at one, but the armored skin was too strong. Nirai's eyes flashed. She focused energy into a blast that struck one drone, sending it flying back. "You are brave, human," she said. Milo nodded, catching his breath. "I've faced tough things before. But these are different." Together, they fought side by side. Milo used quick thinking, setting traps with vines and rocks, luring the machines into his traps. Nirai used her alien powers to block and attack. The battle was fierce but short. When the last drone fell, silence returned. Nirai looked at Milo with a new respect. "Your people's strength is unlike anything I imagined." Milo smiled, wiping sweat from his forehead. "We survive because we adapt." The mist around them began to lift, and the path ahead grew clearer. As they walked, Nirai told Milo more about the Zalari Empire's use of these machines. "They are tools of war and control," she explained, "used to guard borders and hunt enemies." "But they cannot understand courage or heart," Milo said. Nirai nodded. "No, they do not." After several hours, they reached the edge of the Foglands. A valley opened before them, bright with sunlight and green fields. Milo felt hope rising. But before they could rest, a low rumble echoed from the hills. Nirai's eyes widened. "More trouble!" Suddenly, dark ships appeared on the horizon, sleek, armed, and fast. They were Zalari fighters sent to capture the princess. Milo grabbed Nirai's hand. "We need to move now!" They ran toward a narrow canyon, hoping to hide. But the ships fired, beams of energy lighting up the sky. Milo pulled out a small device that released a thick smoke screen. The smoke billowed, hiding them from the attacker's view. Nirai took a deep breath. "You saved my life again. I owe you more than words." Milo shook his head. "We owe each other. This fight is bigger than both of us." As the ships passed, Milo and Nirai slipped deeper into the canyon. They were safe for now. Nirai looked at the human with tired eyes. "Tell me, Milo, what do your people believe in? What makes you fight?" Milo thought for a moment. "We fight for freedom, for hope, for the chance to be more than just what others say we are." Nirai smiled softly. "Maybe there is more to your kind than I have seen." Milo looked at the sky, stars beginning to twinkle as night approached. "There's always more." Together they prepared for the journey ahead, knowing danger waited, but also that trust had formed between two very different worlds. The narrow canyon where Milo and Nirai hid was cool and quiet. The sun had disappeared, and the sky was turning deep blue. Stars began to shine like tiny jewels scattered across the black velvet of space. Milo checked their surroundings carefully. The enemy ships had moved on, but he knew they might return. They needed to send a signal for help, and fast. Nirai sat on a flat rock, her silver skin reflecting the starlight. She looked tired but calm. "We must reach the high ridge," she said quietly. "There is an old relay tower there. From that height, we can send a message to my people, or to Earth." Milo nodded. "I know the way. It will take a few hours, but we can make it." He helped Nirai to her feet. Her leg was still weak, but she moved with determination. The path was steep and rocky. The air grew thinner as they climbed, and the cold bit at their skin. Milo's breath came in quick bursts, but he pushed on. When they finally reached the ridge, the view took Milo's breath away. Below them stretched the forest, the moon's lake sparkling like silver mirrors. Above, the stars stretched endlessly. In the middle of the ridge stood a tall metal tower, old and weathered but still standing strong. Milo approached it carefully, scanning the area for danger. Nirai watched him with interest. "Your people use technology differently than mine," she said. "But you are clever." Milo smiled. "We make the best of what we have." He unpacked tools and devices from his bag and began working on the relay tower. Using parts from his own equipment and some from Nirai's ship, he started repairing the damaged transmitter. Nirai sat nearby, resting but alert. She asked quietly, "What will you say in the message?" Milo thought for a moment. "That human and an ally need help. That the enemy is strong but can be fought. That peace might be possible if they listen." Nirai nodded. Wise words. The stars above seemed to watch as Milo worked. Sparks flew, wires connected, and the old machine hummed back to life. Suddenly, the relay tower glowed softly. Milo activated the transmitter, sending a coded signal into the vastness of space. They waited, holding their breath. Minutes passed. Then, a faint reply came through the small receiver. "It is from Earth," Milo said, his eyes wide with hope. "They received the signal." Nirai smiled, relief washing over her face. "Perhaps help will come soon." But Milo's smile faded. "There is a risk. Sending this signal will also alert your enemies." Nirai's eyes grew serious. "I know, but we must try." As they prepared to leave the ridge, Milo noticed strange movements in the distance, shadows shifting among the trees. "Stay close," he warned. From the darkness, a group of figures appeared. They wore armor and carried weapons that glowed faintly. Zalari soldiers. Nirai's heart pounded. "They have found us." Milo stepped forward. "We won't go without a fight." The soldiers advanced slowly, speaking in a sharp language Milo did not understand. Nirai raised her hands in a gesture of peace. "Wait," she said in the Zalari tongue. Then she turned to Milo. "Trust me." She spoke with calm authority, and the soldiers hesitated. One stepped forward, tall, strong, with eyes cold as ice. Milo sensed he was a leader. "This is General Kale," Nerai whispered. "My cousin, the one who betrayed me." Milo's hand went to his weapon, but Nerai stopped him. "We must be careful." Kale looked at Nerai with a cruel smile. "You have caused much trouble, sister. Come with us. You will be safe." Nerai's eyes narrowed. "Safe? With you? Never." Kyle laughed. "You have no choice." Milo and Nerai exchanged a quick glance. They had to think fast. Suddenly, Milo threw a small device onto the ground. It exploded in a burst of light and sound, blinding the soldiers. "Run!" Milo shouted. They dashed down the ridge, dodging laser beams and rushing over rocks. Milo's heart raced. The chase was on. But Milo had a plan. He led Nerai toward a narrow cave entrance he had seen earlier. Inside, the darkness was thick. Milo lit a small torch and motioned for Nerai to follow. They crouched behind large stones, listening as the soldiers searched outside. Nerai whispered, "Thank you, Milo. You are more than a human. You are a friend." Milo smiled softly. "We are stronger together." After a tense hour, the soldiers gave up and left. Milo and Nerai stepped out of the cave, breathless but alive. "We need to reach the capital," Nerai said. "There, I can gather support and fight my enemies." Milo nodded. "And I will help you every step of the way." As dawn broke over Velra 9, the two unlikely allies prepared for the journey ahead, a journey that could change the fate of their worlds forever. The sun climbed higher over Velra 9, painting the sky in warm shades of orange and pink. Milo and Nerai moved cautiously through the thick forest, leaving the cave behind. The promise of the capital city gave them new strength, but the journey was far from easy. Nerai's injured legs still slowed their pace, but Milo stayed close, helping whenever she faltered. Around them, the forest grew quieter, almost as if it was watching. "Do you think they will help you?" Milo asked as they rested by a small stream. Nerai looked into the water's clear surface, her eyes deep with thought. "Some will listen, others will betray again. But I must try. If I fail, the Empire will fall into darkness." Milo nodded. "Then we'll do it together." They traveled for days, using hidden paths Nerai remembered from her youth. She spoke little, saving her energy. But when she did, Milo learned more about her people, their culture, their hopes, and the weight of the crown she carried. One evening, as the stars blinked awake, they reached the edge of a vast valley. Below, hidden in the folds of mountains, lay the capital city of the Zalari Empire, a place of shining towers, glowing streets, and life unlike anything Milo had seen. "It is beautiful," Milo breathed. Nerai's gaze was heavy with pain. "It is also dangerous. Many do not want me to return." Milo scanned the valley. Guards patrolled the borders and flying ships passed silently overhead. "How will we get inside?" Nerai smiled faintly. "There is a secret entrance, a tunnel known only to my closest friends. If we can reach it, we will be safe inside the city walls." They moved carefully toward the mountains, avoiding patrols and using the cover of trees and rocks. Milo's heart pounded with every step. At last, they found the tunnel, a narrow opening hidden beneath thick vines. Nerai took a deep breath. "This is our path." Inside, the air was cool and damp. The tunnel twisted and turned, but Nerai led the way with sure steps. After a long crawl, they emerged into the heart of the city, silent and still. It was night and most people had gone to rest, but Milo felt the city's power in the quiet, hum of energy and life. Nerai took him to a hidden chamber beneath one of the tallest towers. Inside, a small group waited, friends and loyal supporters who had stayed behind to protect the princess. They greeted Nirai with relief and respect. "We have little time," Nirai said. "The Empire is on the edge of war. My cousin Kale is gathering forces to take the throne by force." One of her supporters, a strong woman named Zara, spoke up. "We have weapons and ships, but we need more allies. The humans could be our strongest partners." Milo nodded. "I will help. Earth can offer support and technology." The room buzzed with hope. Over the next days, Milo and Nirai planned. They sent messages through secret channels to Earth and to trusted leaders within the Empire. Milo shared ideas about technology and defense, while Nirai prepared to address her people. Despite the danger, Milo felt a new sense of purpose. He was no longer just an explorer. He was a part of something bigger, a chance to change the future. One evening, as they stood on a balcony overlooking the city lights, Nirai spoke softly. "Milo, I never imagined a human would be by my side in this fight." Milo smiled. "Sometimes the greatest allies come from the most unexpected places." But danger was never far. News came that Kael's forces were moving closer, preparing for a final attack. "We must act soon," Nirai said. "This war will decide the fate of the Empire and the galaxy." Milo clenched his fists. "Then we fight. Together." The night deepened, full of stars and silent promises. Tomorrow their journey would take a new turn. The day broke over the capital city of the Zalari Empire with a tense silence. Milo and Nirai stood together in the war room, surrounded by loyal supporters and allies. The maps of the Empire were spread out on the table, showing the positions of Kael's forces as they advanced. Nirai's face was calm but determined. "This will be the hardest fight we have ever faced. Kael has many soldiers and powerful weapons, but we have hope and we have truth on our side." Milo nodded. "And Earth will send help as soon as they receive our call." Zara, the fierce warrior, stepped forward. "Our people are ready. We will defend the city and the future." Outside, the city was preparing for battle. Citizens gathered, some helping to build defenses, others tending to the injured. The glowing towers that once symbolized peace now stood as shields against war. Milo looked at Nirai. "What will you do when the battle starts?" Nirai's eyes shone with courage. "I will lead my people. I must show them that the throne belongs to one who fights for peace, not power." As the sun rose higher, Kael's army appeared on the horizon, an endless line of ships, soldiers, and machines. The sky darkened with their presence. Milo felt his heart race. This was more than a fight for a crown. It was a battle for hope itself. The first attack came quickly. Laser beams cut through the air and the ground shook with explosions. Milo and Nirai moved through the city, coordinating defense efforts and helping wherever they could. Nirai's powers were strong. She created energy shields to protect the people and struck back with blasts that stopped the enemy's machines in their tracks. Milo fought beside her, using his skills and quick thinking to outmaneuver the enemy. Together, they inspired the defenders. Hours passed like this, danger close, but the city held firm. Then, Milo spotted Kael himself. The general stood on a raised platform, commanding his troops with a cruel smile. He carried a powerful weapon that could destroy entire buildings. Milo knew this fight would come down to them. "Nirai," Milo said, "we must face him. If we defeat Kael, the battle will end." Nirai nodded. "I am ready." They moved quickly toward the platform, dodging enemy fire and helping the wounded as they went. When they reached Kael, the general sneered. "So, you have come to die, sister?" Nirai stood tall. "I come to end your tyranny." Kael laughed and charged with his weapon blazing. The fight was fierce. Energy clashed against energy, and the ground trembled beneath their feet. Milo watched, closely, waiting for the right moment to help. As Kale aimed a powerful blast at Nirai, Milo threw a device that exploded in a burst of light, distracting the general. Nirai seized the moment. She gathered all her strength and unleashed a brilliant beam of energy that knocked Kale to the ground. The soldiers around paused, uncertain. Kale struggled, but saw the determination in Nirai's eyes. "This is not over," he growled before being taken prisoner. The city erupted in cheers. Milo and Nirai stood together, tired but victorious. Later, in the great hall, Nirai addressed her people. "Today, we chose hope over fear. Today we showed that courage and unity can change the future." Milo smiled, feeling proud. He had come. From Earth, a simple scout, but now he was part of a new story, one of friendship, peace, and strength. As the stars shone outside the great windows, Milo looked at Nirai. "What happens now?" Nirai smiled softly. "Now, we rebuild, together." The great hall was filled with light from the morning sun. The city of Velra 9 was waking up to a new day, a day full of hope and promise. After the battle, the people worked together, clearing rubble and repairing the glowing towers that had been damaged. Life was slowly returning to normal. Milo stood beside Nirai on a balcony overlooking the city. The air was fresh, carrying the scent of blooming trees and new beginnings. Nirai's face was calm, but her eyes held a deep wisdom. "This day marks a new chapter for the Zalari Empire," she said softly. "One of peace, friendship, and strength." Milo smiled. "You fought with courage and heart. Your people are lucky to have you." Nirai shook her head gently. "I could not have done it without you, Milo. You showed me that even in the darkest times, hope can shine." Milo looked out at the city below, thinking about everything that had happened. The dangers, the battles, and the trust that had grown between two very different worlds. "We have much work to do," Milo said. "Rebuilding is not easy." Nirai nodded. "Yes, but it is a chance to create something better. A future where humans and Zalari can stand together." Their conversation was interrupted by the arrival of Zara and several others from the council. Zara smiled warmly. "The people are eager to begin the work of peace. Your message to Earth has been received, Milo. They will send more help soon." Milo felt a surge of relief. "That is good news." Zara looked at Nirai. "Your leadership has inspired many. We must also open the Empire's borders and build new alliances." Nirai's eyes shone. "Together we will." As the day passed, Milo and Nirai met with leaders, engineers, and citizens. They shared ideas about technology, culture, and defense. Milo explained Earth's ways, and Nirai shared her knowledge of the stars. In the evenings, Milo helped Nirai train young leaders, teaching them how to think creatively and face challenges with courage. Nirai's power remained strong, but she welcomed Milo's guidance in strategy and teamwork. One night, as the city rested under a sky full of stars, Milo and Nirai stood together, looking at the distant lights of passing ships from Earth. "I never imagined my journey would lead me here," Milo said quietly. Nirai smiled. "Sometimes the greatest journeys begin with a single step, and the courage to take it." Suddenly, a soft sound came from the balcony behind them. Zara stepped forward, holding a small box wrapped in cloth. This was found among the ruins. "During the battle," Zara said, offering the box to Nirai. "It belonged to your mother." Nirai's eyes filled with tears as she opened the box. Inside was a delicate necklace, glowing softly with a blue light. "My mother's gift," Nirai whispered. "She believed in peace and unity." Milo placed a hand on Nirai's shoulder. "Her spirit lives in you." The next weeks passed quickly. New trade routes were opened, and ships from Earth arrived with supplies, teachers, and friends. The people of Velra 9 and Earth began to learn from one another. Nirai worked to rebuild not only the city, but also trust among her people. She spoke openly about forgiveness and the future. One evening, Milo and Nirai sat by a calm lake, the stars, reflecting on the water surface. "Do you miss Earth?" Nirai asked. Milo smiled. "Sometimes, but I feel at home here with you and your people." Nirai looked at him with warmth. "Then you are part of this world now." Milo nodded. "And you are part of mine." They sat quietly, watching the night sky. The stars seemed to shine brighter than ever before, symbols of hope, friendship, and new beginnings. As the days turned into months, the Zalari Empire grew stronger, not just in power but in heart. The story of the human who helped the alien princess spread across the stars, inspiring others to believe in the strength of unity. And Milo and Nirai, two souls from different worlds, stood together, ready to face whatever the future held, knowing they were not alone. The galaxy was wide and full of mysteries, but with courage and friendship, they knew it was a place where anything was possible.